Right, so hello and welcome back to the Bach and Arthur podcast, everyone.
Yay.
Today it's episode 15 and we've got a very special guest. It's AB, everyone.
Oh,
hubba.
You know, like out of any podcast, this is one I've had more DMs to come on. Like out of everyone.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
big time.
That's because
Big
we've been
time.
forcing our audience to slide in your DMs and,
Spam your
so.
DMs.
and tell you to come on.
And we've been hanging out for the last few days, so I think we've run out of things to talk
I've
about.
seen way too much of you. Yeah,
Way
that was
too
actually
much.
quite a traumatic trip. Really, it had a lot of ups and downs.
Oh yeah, it really did. You
Oh, what kind of up and down, boys?
Oh,
they were having bad
no,
shots
none of
together.
that happened. That's weird as shit.
No, you lost your camera, which is your main
I
downer.
lost my virginity.
Not
Next
yet.
time. Next time. Yeah, I did lose my camera. That was really depressing. I was going around the whole time thinking this is probably the best experience of my life. My children are going to be able to watch this vlog, and then it was just gone.
And yeah, because you left it in the back of an Uber, but you got it back.
Honestly, last minute.
Yeah.
We're literally waiting in the airport. Uber finally picks up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way. I got your camera."
No.
I was like, "Oh, I'll pay you anything to come." He's like, "No, nothing necessary."
Did
it
it
for
for free?
He literally came, didn't say a word, dropped it, just walked off.
He didn't even say,
Aura.
has he filmed anything on the...
He just
No, he
nutted
didn't.
and
I was
gave you the
thinking-
camera.
Yeah,
What?
imagine he was just clip farming the whole time. I'd been fuming. It was on
mogging
1%
you.
though. I thought like, ooh.
Yeah.
He might have he might have broke the net from that Uber.
I was going to say we should go on.
No, mine is not. I was just going to say, no, he was just jerking it over the footage.
To be fair, there is a lot of topless, Jonathan Roth. No, there is a lot of topless arthurtv in that.
And Topless AB.
Why are you topless in it?
Because
We had a swimming pool.
yeah, around the pool.
Oh,
You
you
didn't
got
get
no
topless.
Airbnb.
Wait, so
No,
why are you
I-
topless? You're just around the pool?
I got-
just,
I got
or
nine-
a farming topless.
He was.
Or a farming
It's
just like
crazy.
this.
You are just walking around eating fruit pots, just topless. Like, and he's just like, "Oh, let's get some beers."
We are selling these vlogs.
That's
we are.
so
So,
funny.
by the time this is out, AB's Monaco vlog will be out. Mine will be out in a few days. The fellas also have a vlog coming out.
Yeah, it's
So
going
there's
to
a
be
lot
really
of
good.
content.
A
coming
lot of
up in
topless
few
Chip
days.
as well, which didn't get a mention.
Topless chip.
Yeah, he's got that Clash of Clans goblin build.
That's brutal.
No, it's his. It's his joke, so I'm allowed to say it.
I was going to say,
It
he,
is
he
his
said
joke.
the same thing about Arthur Hill on stream the other day.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Who said about Arthur Hill?
So, Chip did.
Yeah, no, Chip said
That's
he's got the same build as Arthur Hill, something like that.
Do they have the same build?
I don't know. We
I
need,
mean,
we need to stick them next to each other.
Yeah. They'd steal all the fucking gold.
Yeah,
We
But anyway,
couldn't
I was
do that.
going to say we could run through a bunch of the Monaco stories, but I think most of it got caught on camera,
yeah,
and so I don't
I'll
really
run
want to
through it
spoil the
anyway.
vlogs.
yeah. I mean, we did see you guys, which was actually.
Yeah, you did.
I found that really emotional, actually.
Yeah.
'Cause we were having a good time. We were like, "Oh, I wonder where Batch and George are," and then we just see a boat, and you two are on it sailing away.
Sitting
We're like,
into
"There's
the
nothing we
sunset.
can do to meet up with them." Like,
Come
that's so
back.
true. It's because we were different brands, so like they
Yeah.
had their own boat, and we.
I didn't think we were going to see you, and then I just heard my name. I looked
Yeah.
up, and you're all up there. Just
Yeah.
everyone with a vlog camera out as well. Just
Yeah, we're
looking
just
at-
filming you guys.
There's a lot of vlogception going on.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
We were just
dystopian.
touching tips of our lenses all the time.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I did the we can both film, and then I don't think he's seen that vlog.
No, I
before,
don't know that
so he didn't
reference.
get that
Oh.
reference.
No.
But it was fun and epic. Anyway, we filmed a lot of the same stuff, but also not a lot of the same stuff. So if
Yeah,
you've watched one, you can watch them all.
big time.
True.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the Monaco Grand Prix?
Amazing, but I mean, if we had a different villa, life would have been a bit easier. We were like proper.
that?
I mean, everyone stays in Nice because it's like stay in Monaco, you're paying like 100 racks for a little bando gaff.
Yeah,
But you know, we were like proper in the hills in some ancient village.
which
Oh,
was
wow.
lovely.
Yeah, it was unreal. But like every Uber we got in either scraped their car getting us to their house,
way.
or
Yeah.
they just refused to go through.
Yeah,
Really?
They
What,
drop
like
us off
that?
like a mile from the house and be like, you guys are walking up this hill for the rest.
Yeah,
How long did it take you to get to Monaco from your place?
an hourish.
Yeah.
Really? So you're quite far.
Yeah, it was
away.
quite far out. 'Cause
How
it was,
far were you?
We were in Nice, but it was a half an hour in the Uber.
Yeah,
we were
I
half
was-
an hour from Nice, so we had to get the half an hour train to
Right.
Nice.
Oh,
And then half an
train
hour
to
Uber
Nice.
home. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, hard to complain about the villa
The
itself. because
views
it was
were unreal.
insane. It was a beautiful villa.
Yeah,
But
mental.
when we were just, it just adding 2 hours of travel per day.
And you drove
Yeah.
like 15 hours from Bilbao
Oh,
to Monaco to Nice.
Yeah, so
in
beforehand,
itself.
in fact, on the day we're filming this, my Bilbao vlog will be out, so it'll be out by the time you guys are seeing this. But I went to Bilbao first with Tobe, Jizzle and Chip to watch the UEFA Europa League final, Man United Spurs. And there was, because obviously everyone in the world had descended there, and
Everyone in the world.
and everyone else
That's
from
crazy.
not the world was going to Monaco.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy.
It was impossible to get from Bilbao to Monaco. Leaving
Yeah.
Monaco was impossible. The flights were booked, and No, leaving Bilbao was impossible, and arriving in Monaco was impossible. So we ended up just renting a car and driving 15 hours. But Chip forgot his license, so I had to drive the whole time.
I was
lied
surprised
about
you
that.
actually had a license.
A lot of people say
He
that.
shouldn't.
He just doesn't seem like the type of bloke to. I can't imagine you
No, if
driving
you
a car.
see me drive, you
He
think it should be rescinded. I
took me to
you-
home.
you're not a good driver.
We almost didn't.
no,
make
I
it.
just tend to.
Well, you grew up on Jersey roads, like you're not.
Yeah, I'd never driven on a motorway.
Yeah, that's just free roaming, really. isn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
It's just a purge.
Driving
No,
in
it's
the woods.
weird. There's a lot of stuff that you do in the UK that you just don't do in Jersey, like being on motorway. Like our national speed limit's 40,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to correct mistakes when you're driving at 40.
Yeah.
Whereas driving at
When you're
whatever I
driving
do
at
on the
70.
motorway at 180, just
Yeah.
getting. I would never speed 70.
To be fair,
What's
you
the
got
national speed limit?
70.
yeah. To be fair, you got more balls than me because I just refuse to drive in other countries. Like I zone out driving. Do you ever like when you're driving, you're just thinking about random shit and you're like, oh my god, I'm actually driving,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
just snap back into it. I
Yeah.
think I'd do that abroad and just be driving on the left side of the road.
Yeah, that's true. You have to be like actively thinking when you're driving abroad.
I zone
Well,
out
it was
too
quite
much.
nice because obviously Chips, quite like me, likes a bit of intellectual stimulation. So we were watching a lot of. Well,
Sounds freaky.
Yeah, it does.
So you didn't have to say stimulation. I feel like
we were.
oh, we both like physical touch. So
We both get stimulated by each other's minds.
So he was like doing a lot of. He had his phone plugged in and he would watch videos that were informative. So we watched loads of videos on the fall of the Roman Empire.
It sounds like hell.
No, it does. It does. No, he called me at one point and Chip was like, no, bro, Arthur's just making me watch his second channel horror video like the whole way through.
Oh my god, this
He
was
was
so
making
funny.
him review
actually.
the whole thing on the train.
So I had to upload and I was like, we've got to pull over. I've got to. I
This is
edit
a
my horror
joke.
games myself because they're basically raw. And I was like, I've just got to check this for mistakes. And he was like, bro, we don't have time.
a 15-hour drive.
You wouldn't mean.
So I was like, we pull over for half an hour and I need to watch it through. And he was like, I'll just do it for you. And so I was driving and he was in the front seat watching my unlisted video for errors.
So
This is
glad I just flew.
unbelievable. This is so unbelievable.
But no, honestly, because he also loves the like Roman Empire videos. So we had a few hours of like watching full of the Roman Empire videos, which was epic. We watched. Have you seen Kyrgyzstat's gone a bit off the rails lately?
Who?
No.
Kyrgyzstat, is that like?
So it's like a German YouTube channel that animates informative videos.
Oh, no, I
But
didn't.
they did a video on fentanyl
All right.
and speaking about how it makes you feel.
What,
and
the
honestly,
animation's like Fentfold.
but honestly, the way they describe heroin, they keep going like fentanyl is like heroin, but it sucks. And it's like, right, well, what about heroin
No,
itself?
but that is
Whereas
like
heroin
common
isn't.
knowledge that the feeling of heroin will be incredible.
And they
Yeah.
they describe it, and then they're like, "Oh, you take heroin for the first time, and it's the best feeling you could ever feel. All your insecurities and anxieties fade away, and your body's filled with bliss, and all this kind of stuff." And I'm like, an impressionable person is going to watch this and go, "I might try heroin now."
Yeah.
That
Obviously,
sounds incredible.
it goes into all the horrible things. But
It makes sense why it's like the most, like surely the drugs that do the most damage are the best ones. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, you
I think
wouldn't
that's
do it
how I want to
otherwise.
go out, when I'm 90.
What on
blast it up.
heroin?
Yeah.
Last 5 years on heroin. To be fair, last 5 years are going to be shit anyway.
That's what I mean.
So you might as well.
I
go
might
out
as
with
well.
this.
I'm going to be fentfolding regardless. Just naturally.
I don't know what that is. What do you?
Fentfold.
What's fenfold?
You know when like they go around, people on Fent, they kind of just
Fold
Oh, I've
over.
seen videos of
Yeah.
that on the streets. Is that what they're doing?
the Fentfold, yeah.
Folding them, so it's like origami.
Yeah.
But how
Yeah,
about
they
you?
can
How
do
was, your,
crazy shit.
how was your Monaco trip?
Yeah, it was good. Although we only went for qualifying day, so we saw FP3 as well. But we flew back on race day. But it was really good. It was really good. Monaco's such a crazy place.
It doesn't feel real, does
It
it?
doesn't feel
Mm.
real, but it's so. Even Nice is so beautiful. Like everything is so clean and
Yeah.
well kept.
Yeah, Nice is lovely.
It's just a different world. But yeah, it was really good. Obviously, love F1, so it was just sick to be there. And Lando got pole. It was crazy.
yeah, it
That's
was
like,
crazy.
I mean, isn't qualifiers the most important thing in Monaco?
In Monaco,
Because where
yeah.
you start is basically where you're going to finish.
Exactly. They changed the rules this year to put in a 2-stop system to try and change things around, but it just ended up in like, I mean, you guys watched the race.
Yeah.
Just ended up in like a messy race of like people trying to cut rules, people holding
Yeah.
up people back.
Verstappen was cheeky, wasn't he? Like not doing the pit.
Yeah, he's just
second pit,
holding
just
Norris up.
hoping
But he was
there
always
was
going to
gonna
have
be
to
a
do it,
crash.
wasn't he?
But like
Yeah,
he was
it's all
hoping there
you
was a
can do.
crash, so there'd be a safety car to slow everyone down, and then
Yeah. It's
he'd do
it's
it then.
the
so-
best move.
I'm still learning about it, but we watched the Drive to Survive episode where Verstappen won, you know, like the really controversial one.
Yeah.
Where they made like him
Should've
and Lewis
been
go like,
Hamilton's
Where it should have been
eighth.
Hamilton and
and I just hate Verstappen now.
yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of people hate him because of that.
Yeah.
I actually really like Verstappen.
Yeah.
I think once you watch a lot more
Me
of his
too, actually.
interviews, he's just the classic of like, you're gonna hate whoever's really good, and Verstappen is just that good.
He's a bit of a Ronaldo of Formula One.
Yeah.
Like,
some people just have that like really like likable vibe. Like Norris just seems like you want to support him.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
Norris is a bit more messy, isn't he?
or Charlie Clerk.
Not that I would say that
Charlie
there's
Clerk.
goat status, but like personality-wise, like he's a bit more quiet and reserved. There's a bit of a.
He's funny.
He's a bit nonchalant.
Yeah, he's a bit nonchalant, but you guys enjoyed it.
Mhm.
George enjoyed it as well. George was with me,
Yeah.
and he wasn't really into F1 before, but after watching it, he was like, actually, you know what? I get this. I'm kind of into it. And
It
I
is
told him
cool.
to watch
Yeah.
Drive to Survive because
Yeah,
after watching
that's
that,
what-
it gets
yeah.
you into it. And it's
Yeah, it really does.
I hopped
Yeah.
on that after Qatar, and we were in the Red Bull garage in Qatar, and like
Mm.
Verstappen was pulling in and stuff, and I didn't really get how cool it was. And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh my god,
That's sick.
I just did not appreciate that at all."
Yeah, exactly.
Shame.
No, that's cool. It was a good sport.
Mm.
But yeah, that was a nice little roundup. Basically, we probably should have done this at the start, but this episode we're diving in deep to AB. Really,
Through the butthole.
We've been
so-
doing that all week as well.
we actually
Oh, you've been diving deep.
no, because you're obviously people from the outside might just go, God, his biceps are fucking huge.
Now you've got a serious rig on you as well.
Okay, thank you.
There's a lot of good rigs.
Okay, thank you.
There's a lot of good rigs on this podcast.
Glad
I
you
was
brought that up.
hoping you'd say that.
That's the only reason that's written down there. AB to compliment Arthur.
But there's a profundity to you, and we thought we'd extract that in this episode.
Is that a word?
You can
Profundity?
try.
Yeah.
I've never heard
I've
that.
got my shield up.
Oh, we got to
Ooh.
break down his walls.
You got to get
He's
my
a damaged lamb, and we need to help him.
Yeah, like Fortnite.
Well, it's
What do you mean
it's
by?
an analogy.
He's
I
got
guess.
shields that we need to crack.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cracked.
War zone.
Cracked.
He's cracked. He's cracked.
Cracked his shield. Okay,
So
yeah.
start off because you're pretty new to the game and you've had a quick come up.
Yeah.
So tell us about your come up.
Tell us about your cum. Yeah, I started off doing gym TikTok. I mean, like you, I guess.
Yeah, you have a very similar starting story.
Yeah, I never really planned on like that being the whole thing. I did always think like that would be my easiest way in because it's just like it's a niche. And I also followed it for ages, and I saw like people easily get sponsorships. It seemed like the easiest way to like get out of your job. But I was really into the gym at the time. It was kind of like because I was working at a warehouse and I didn't really have anything going for me. It was like getting a bit wham. Just was like just felt cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like my job, but I'm
I'm
wham.
wham too,
Yeah,
yes.
that was literally it though.
Yeah.
It was like I just finish work, go to the gym, get a pump, and I'd be like, all right, now I feel so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Successful day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was kind of like that when I was just working at M&S. It's like when you're not focusing so much on career,
Yeah.
you do focus more on making yourself epic in other
Yeah.
ways. And so you
Yeah.
just end up spamming bicep curls.
Yeah, that was all I was on. It started in lockdown to be fair, because I was like so small and skinny in school. Like I was like the last to hit puberty. It's actually mental. Like videos of me in 2020 lockdown, I genuinely look 11. I was like 5'6", weighed like 50 kg.
No
then-
way.
Oh,
It
no.
was like trebled in
No,
size.
no, it was really like I literally went into lockdown known as like really small, and then I was like spamming push-ups, sit-ups in my room, and then my friend got like a little home gym in his garage, and then by the time school opened again, I evolved
Damn.
into a different Pokemon.
That's kind of so because of course, lockdown hit when you were in school.
Yeah, that was sixth form. So I went into sixth form. We had a few months, and we're like, oh, sixth form's sick, and then lockdown hit, and we basically just blinked, and it was A levels, and we didn't actually
That's
have to take
mental.
them. It was just teacher predicted grades.
So because
That's crazy.
when you went back into school,
Yeah.
had everyone changed like completely within that period of time?
No, I feel like most people change between like GCSE and sixth form.
Mm.
I was just proper late bloomer. It's really weird as well because my brother's always been like really tall. Like it made no sense. I was just like the runt of the family. But yeah, it's just I feel like it was the weirdest age to go into lockdown.
Yeah.
It was like the time you changed the most, and it was just all while school was off.
Mm.
It was good though.
Yeah.
Sometimes just free roam with the boys. Like the summer lockdown was unreal.
Yeah.
That was like the best time of my life.
I can't even remember lockdown.
No, it
My
feels
brain's well,
like
Unc,
a different
Unc
universe.
definitely can't
Yeah,
remember
it was just
lockdown.
like
He was 40 back then.
it was just like staying up to like 4 a.m. on Fortnite, gooning.
Yeah, that. Oh, don't know about the gooning bit. Well,
I skateboarded a lot actually because I skated loads when I was younger,
Mm.
and then I stopped because it kind of got to an age where everyone was like, "All right, it's a bit embarrassing now, pack it in."
Did you ever dabble in pennyboarding?
In primary school, yeah. But that's the only time.
He's just got a penny board.
No, I didn't just.
Because I feel like in primary school is the only age where your body is in proportion
He's
to
going,
ride
nah,
one.
leave the penny board.
Take it back.
Don't bring it in. Don't bring it in.
No,
Would you go to a
I used a
penny board
penny
now?
board. I used a penny board.
Yeah, the
I
penny
sco-
boards were good.
I was yeah,
They were
backtracking
really cool,
there.
actually.
No, I scooted in primary school and then
Yeah.
I evolved into like
That's
penny board.
so lame.
That was a big scooter.
Penny board is cool, but no. But the thing is, penny boarding is not cool, but it's quick to get around.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed. All
And it's
right,
Why not a
Convenient
longboard? Because it's just not like you on a penny board now is just that would look mental.
it couldn't happen. Imagine.
Longboards were just long to carry around, weren't they? The good thing
Oh,
about a
they
penny
are
board
long.
was
Well,
that
they're long, all right.
they were just.
Hence
That's
the
why they
name.
got their name. What? So you penny boarded?
No, I was wanted one.
He tech decked.
I was actually a skater. I was a skater as well. I
Yeah,
used to
I know,
skate
yeah.
a lot. But yeah,
Really
I was
good?
wanted a longboard, but they were mad expensive, weren't they?
You any good on the skateboard?
Yeah, I was pretty good. I was I don't know if you had the same division growing up, but there was like the ramp skaters and the street skaters, and
Yeah.
I was very ramp, so I can't like tray flip and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I
I can like kick flip, hill flip, like
Yeah.
do the basics.
I was only like ramp.
You guys wouldn't last a day on a scooter.
Is that why your ankles are so messed up? He doesn't like to talk about it. So how did you
I've
go
got
from
normal ankles, all right? Let me make that thing
No,
clear.
they are gammy. They're
there?
weird.
But you've got gammy ankles.
All right, I'll get my ankles out.
He's got gout.
We've done it. No, take the shoe and sock off. Yeah. So at what point did you go? Ugh, sorry.
It's a normal ankle.
Oh, it stinks.
Oh God, no.
You wanna say
please-
something?
No, actually, it really.
Someone got an egg vape in here.
Yeah. So
I actually have never had smelly feet.
at what point did you decide to go?
voice.
Oh, I'm doing all this gym content. I'm now going to be funny.
Yeah, honestly, I think so. I went on holiday with my mates, and they were like, "Oh, just start TikTok," and I thought like, "All right, gym is the way to do it."
What did they think about that?
I mean, they encouraged it.
They said do it.
Yeah, so they weren't the ones that like, I was worried that they'd be like, "Oh, that's cringe" or whatever,
Yeah.
but they were like, "Nah, you should just do it." And I think what was my first video? I think I just made a transition video, like a body transformation, and someone put steroids in the comments, and my first talking video was me replying to that, being like, "You're just so stupid and you know nothing."
You stupid little idiot.
Yeah, and I
But
was like,
being funny. Like,
no, I was
Oh.
just quite
Oh.
nervous. And then I kind of just gradually did more comment replies and got a bit more like, because I thought like I still had this humor that I've got now, but I just didn't want to put it out there yet. And then I think I did a few like back and bicep tutorial, and I was like, "Oh, if you want to get big veiny phallus like arms like this," and I started like dropping a few jokes, and one of them got like 500,000, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do more of them," and then comment replies to that. It just kind
Right.
of snowballed from there.
So it's quite a natural transition, really.
It was, yeah. And I did like mic'd up, so I'd have a mic in the gym.
Nice.
And then I slowly realized this is like a 2-minute TikTok, and I'm only lifting for like 10 seconds of it. It's all just me yapping. So it was like people are like, "Oh, this," because there's a whole thing in the gym industry like, "Oh, it's really boring. No one's got personalities." And a lot of my comments were like, "Finally, someone who's actually got a bit of personality." So I was like, "Well, if I just sack off the gym part,
Yeah.
then I'm just a guy."
Your audience.
There you go. Just a guy.
Yeah,
But I would always see like within the gym community, people would be like, "Oh, the gym's lost its way because now all these gym influencers are just not going to the gym anymore
Yeah.
and they're just doing that." And I always thought that was weird because it's obviously the natural progression is to just be yourself,
Yeah.
just make content.
yeah.
And there was
it's
like a war in the
it's a
in
lot
the
of like, "Oh,
community.
gym talk's dead now," because
Yeah.
it's like all these little posers, like they're just whipping out the tripods in the gym chatting. But it's like no one watches just a bench press video.
Exactly. Like, what else are you supposed to do?
Because they do it, like everyone's seen that a million times.
Yeah.
It is weird.
I guess it could be frustrating for newer people in the gym. Like if I now was like, I want to start a gym, I want to figure it out. Going like a lot of the people who were really good at giving advice, like giving tutorials or this kind of stuff, have now moved to just being a personality.
Yeah.
Or if I'm someone who like just enjoys watching that kind of content all the time, to be like, oh, all the people that used to make that don't make it anymore. I can imagine they'd be a bit like, what's actually left.
But I was still always just like eating chicken nuggets. I never downloaded a calorie app. I was never tracking. So I was never like one of them guys who's like, wake
Okay.
up, gym is all I care about. It was
Yeah.
always like, this is just like my only hobby, so I might as well do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what is the, like, given you come from that side,
Yeah.
you now have quite a big like male audience, like gym audience.
Yeah.
We'll go on to sort of like the audience and how your audience is changing and how you're managing that later.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be kind of interesting to hear your point of view on things like on like manliness and like masculinity and stuff, and not down the traditional like political route where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what does it mean to be a man? What is a
Yeah.
woman? That kind of stuff. But when you look at yourself and go like, I'm a man, this is the type of man I want to be. What kind of stuff do you know, what does that mean to you?
Interesting. Would you say I'm manly? Do you guys think I'm
I would
manly?
say you're quite manly and
Yeah.
I think I'm masculine and
It
shit.
depends what you define as.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's really the question.
It is a big question, really, isn't it? I think just like looking in the mirror and thinking like you're a good person is kind of, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I think. I don't really know. I think taking care of those around you, you know.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me.
Staying
as well,
true
I
to your
think.
word, being an honest bloke. Yeah, I don't really know. What's your idea of a man?
I think I'm quite similar. Like, obviously, I think all of these will we're kind of the people who will apply these to us.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there going like, this is when I'm thinking about what kind of man do I want to be?
Yeah.
This is the type of man. I don't think we use this in a way to judge other people.
Yeah,
of
this
like,
isn't how to be a man.
yeah, how to be a man, or someone
Yeah.
going like, oh, you're less of a man if you do that. But when I think about what it means to be a man,
Yeah.
it is about using my like place in society in terms of like my physical presence, my like social presence and like status as a man and the things that come with that to like use it in a very similar way to like protect and uplift and like help people around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What yeah, is that
No,
similar
I
to
agree.
you,
I
you
think you've hit the nail on the head, guys. You really have.
it's because we're all really strong.
Yeah, it's so true.
We're naturally inclined.
No, I think like a big thing for me is like I want people to feel like comfortable and safe in my presence.
Yeah.
And in like every sense of that word, like you know, when you just feel like, say your dad, for instance, you feel like safe and like he's got things like you feel like you don't have to worry so much.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah.
No, that is a really good one.
And
yeah.
I think that's that's a cool thing to be able to give other people,
Yeah.
if possible.
I agree. Actually, I think about that quite a lot because I think because of the way I am. Like we briefly spoke about like mental health and stuff over the weekend. Like saying how we don't really like struggle with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I quite like going, oh, given I've got this predisposition to be, you know,
Like
more emotionally regulated,
neutral.
all that kind of more neutral. It's kind of nice, like to think that I can be a bit more of an emotional rock
Yeah.
for people who need it, and to go to my friends and family members and go like, listen, if you're struggling,
Yeah.
like I can bear this load.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting, like even just speaking about it, going like how much of this comes from me and how much of it does come from society.
Yeah.
Because I think in a way, like when you're talking about this, like there is this patriarchal system that has an emphasis on men like needing to bear the load and all this kind of stuff. And I'm curious how much of it naturally comes from like whether with a blank slate I would feel like that, or whether that's me being in a society where it goes like men are supposed to be the provider, the care, like the.
I think there
caretaker, this
definitely
kind
is a
of stuff.
natural part of it for sure. Like even if you just look at animals and that, like
Mm.
it's kind of. But
There's a
no, I do know what
tendency,
you mean. I wonder what a blank slate, like where it would go.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do know what you mean. Like I'm someone who's very neutral with like my mental. I don't read deep stuff too much. I don't get like too caught up on the highs or the lows. I'm just quite like chill.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I feel like in those sort of scenarios where if someone's like opening up to you or something, it's quite easy to just like be there. You know what I mean, guys?
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a good outlook to have as well. It's very, very non-toxic, which is good.
I do think that people being comfortable in your presence, like it's nice to just like rock up to a function and everyone's just very like happy with each other, and it doesn't feel like there's anyone who's like, "Yo, darling, what you want?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just like everyone's just there for a good time. There's no like weird sort of side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you think of calmness as well? Because obviously,
For sure.
there's such an interesting. I think some people might see like, because I think men tend to have slightly higher aggression on average than women.
Yeah, for sure.
I think people might almost attach that to masculinity
Yeah.
and being a man. And I think I think in a very similar way, like when I think about the type of man I want to be,
Yeah.
it's much more calm, and I don't want people to be like, not that they would be, because I'm not the most intimidating or imposing. I'm not sitting there going, no, I don't want people to be scared of me, even though it'd be easy to. But, you know, I think there are quite a lot of men in especially in like the social media space that, you know, especially with like stuff like influencer boxing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men that definitely are out there that are going like, I want to achieve my social status by being like
The ultimate man.
the ultimate man who
Got
can
money,
beat up anyone who's
bitches,
scared and like
wealth,
Yeah.
boxing
oh, like,
matches.
what are you saying that like
Yeah.
you know you wouldn't say that to my face and it's that kind of stuff like
Yeah.
that to me seems such an opposite side of it. It's almost like that to me seems so much more fragile. And actually one of the things
It's overcompensating, isn't it?
I made Chip, one of the things I made Chip do whilst we were in the car, I was like, listen, I'm so close to finishing Marcus Aurelius's Meditations,
Yeah.
that book there.
Did you make him read it?
I was like, I've got half of it. I was like, read it out to me. No, it was an audio
Well,
book.
you made him do the audio
I,
book.
didn't make, I was like, to be fair, he loves it as well. He bought
Yeah.
me the Daily Stoic, so he's into Stoic
Okay.
philosophy and stuff. And I was like, I've got half an hour left. And I was like, given I'm driving, do you mind if we just listen to the last half an hour of this book? And it was really interesting. Is what kind of inspired this, because it's got one of my favorite quotes in it. Obviously, philosophy, they explore this a lot about what it means to be a good person, what it
Yeah.
means to lead a good life. There's a part in it where Marcus Aurelius kind of says, like, waste no more time discussing what it means to be a good man, be one. And it kind of just made me think, like, obviously we can have all these podcast episodes, like speaking about it, going like, this type of man I want to be all this kind of stuff. But obviously the most important thing is to like put it into action and stuff
Yeah.
and actually realize, not in terms of recognition, as in like make real
Yeah.
these kind of like goals. And just obviously
I think I only really started deep in, like, if I'm a good person, like when I start doing socials, because it's kind of like you don't really think about it too broadly when there's no eyes on you. You're kind of just like floating about in your own little world. And then when you realize like everyone's got opinions on you, it makes you think about how you're coming across more.
Yeah.
And I think especially when I started doing YouTube, because like, my TikToks were just like silly little 30-second things, like it wasn't that deep. But now it's like 40-minute vlogs of my whole day, and they're seeing like basically exactly what I'm like. Yeah, I feel like when people are like, oh, I've had a hard day and I've watched your YouTube and it's cheered me up and that, it makes you feel like you've got more of a, like, I don't know, more responsibility for it.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah. That's funny that you say that, because that was literally the next thing that we were thinking we should move on to.
Yeah.
Is talking about making that move from TikTok to YouTube and Twitch
Yeah.
and the more long form stuff and joining the Sideman stuff.
Yeah.
You're growing in your cultural influence.
Yeah.
And I mean, now you're on the Bachelor of the podcast.
Oh, fucking hell.
It doesn't get better than this.
You might be on the pinnacle.
Yeah.
So almost without intending it to be, you know, like if you become a teacher
Yeah.
or a politician or stuff, like you're going in there very much knowing and thinking like, oh, you know, I'm going to be guiding people in their lives and all this kind of stuff. With social media, I don't think
Catches you off guard a bit.
It kind of catches you off guard, and you're like, hold on a second, like I actually have a responsibility
Yeah.
to my audience that's completely self-imposed. Obviously, it's imposed in part by them, by their reaction to it.
Yeah.
But you can have whatever audience you want, and it's kind of up to you. So what kind of, when you're thinking like, oh, I'm growing in my responsibility,
Yeah.
what is it you think about? What kind of responsibility do you feel like you're starting to have? And like, what kind of role model do you want to be? What kind of influence do you want to have on people?
Almost like how, you know, Outdoor Boys,
Mm-hmm.
rest his soul. He's not dead, but, you know, sacked off his channel. It's
I
like,
can't believe that.
I like the idea. Yeah, it's so peak. But I feel like the idea of just people watching just completely clocking out and forgetting about everything and just watching a video where it's just all giggles and as good, like it's like you, Chip, there's like different characters in there.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I just want the best possible vibe YouTube. And I almost feel like I make videos that I'd want to watch before I started doing YouTube. And I feel like I do that. I feel like I'd watch me if I didn't know me, which is a nice feeling, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
yeah.
I saw a TikTok of an elderly couple. You might have reposted it. Actually.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like, why are my nan and granddad watching AB?
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, yeah.
They're just chilling on the sofa.
Yeah.
But that kind of like calm out.
My
the-
grandparents watch my videos, and it's like some of the shit I say in some of them, or like some of the Sideman videos. I'm like, fucking it. Even the fellas pod that me, you, and George did, when the whole beginning of it's just
Oh,
like
that was
about,
quite
like,
wild.
about our knobs and shit. It's like, I can't believe they're watching that.
Several members of my family have referenced the surfboard story.
Oh.
I told it
Yeah.
on Fellas Loaded because obviously it was supposed to be by
I said a
paywall.
very similar story about like Weller in one of my vlogs. I was like, oh, you say that story about you like gooning in the forest, and then I basically like a lot of time I upload on a Monday, and I go for like a roast dinner at my mum's on a Monday. So a lot of time we watch the new vlog, and I just skipped past that part, and I was like, just don't worry about it.
don't worry
And then
about
I got
that
home and I got a text like the forest, and I was like, oh god, so awful.
Oh, that's so bad. There's
Forest.
I was with a family friend watching Chip's video where we went to Moldova.
Yeah,
And there was a bit where I kind of can't remember. I made a really inappropriate sex joke, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This drives mad boring." By the way, I did the same. I skipped past it because I knew that
Yeah.
outrageous joke was in there.
You know, I do find weird. I feel like before I did socials, my family probably really didn't like they knew what my my sense of humor was like. Like I did talk to them, but like now they get to see like exactly what I'm like, which they usually never see what you're like with your mates.
Yeah.
And I think since I've started socials, they're like, I didn't even know this guy existed.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy
Yeah,
is.
and they always saw me as quite like not nervous, but like the type of guy to not do a podcast and just yap, or like just not like even on sports day, I'd sign up to the 100 meters and then I'd call my name out, I'd just go to the toilet and be like, no, I'm not doing it.
But isn't it that's the like I think that's one of the biggest benefits of doing social media is the amount of confidence it gives you.
Oh, honestly, the difference in person I am now is just ridiculous.
Same. I was such a nervous person before, and then just everything changes the more you do.
Yeah,
really. That's
you just
all it
meet
is.
so many people non-stop. You're exposed to so many big. I think the most nervous I've ever been for any video was probably, apart from like the first fellas or whatever I did, was probably that Sideman present video, because that was intense. Just walking out into that massive hangar, and it was like massive team, all the Sidemen, but who were, by the way, just stood like so far away from you, so you're like shouting your jokes, and then Toby goes like, "Bro, breathe," and because he said that, I was like, "I'm way
Now you're
more nervous."
overthinking it. Now you're like, what do you mean breathe? I am breathing.
Yeah, I thought I was getting away with it, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
But it came out all right. But yeah, but now like if I did something like that, I wouldn't bat an eyelid, because I've seen it back, and I'm like, "Oh, you did all right." So
Go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think the first Sidemen video is as difficult as it gets.
Yeah.
With any kind of like nervousness.
What was
or
your first
anxiety. Mine was it was like them trying not to laugh in real life. So kind of a similar vibe
That's
to yours, where
rough,
it's like you
though.
come
Oh
out,
my
they're out
goodness.
No,
there.
that's way worse.
And we were topless.
Spray painted topless.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
And just had to do like a little joke and then leave. It was only like a 2-minute
Was it
thing.
with George as well?
George did a different thing.
Was
it with
Cole?
Cole?
Cole
Yeah,
and
Cole and there was another
massive black hole was the joke that we
Supermassive
told.
black hole. But yeah, I was so nervous for that.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I was like, oh, it was all right. I was still nervous for other like shoots, but progressively less and less
Yeah.
and less.
I think
feel.
I got edged into it pretty well, because I
Huh?
did. I got
Who edged you?
I got 6. Yeah.
And did that help?
That calms you down when they start edging you.
Yeah, KSI gooned me actually.
Yeah, a little stroke will help. No, well, I met them all like. I think at first I met Simon, Josh, and JJ in Qatar, like briefly, and I kind of just met them all at random things. And then I did the hide and seek video that you guys did, which is like not really the same because you're going around with the GoPro, but I kind of like I had a good little smooth transition into it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for sure.
but no, the first Sideman video is just fucking terrifying.
It is.
How did you find? What was your first one?
I can't remember actually.
You not?
I can't really remember.
Do you remember being
We all
nervous
remember our
for it?
first.
Hmm?
We all remember our first.
No, I actually don't really.
It was 20 years ago.
To be fair, I don't think I maybe get as nervous and like in the moment, but I'm quite used to that because I think in most social situations, I do feel quite awkward at the time anyway.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like sitting there on the Sideman shoot going like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like this is so
you're
weird
just
for me.
always nervous.
I'm just always quite, I'm like, oh, I'm interacting with people again for the 1,000th time in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm awkward again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, this
Just your permanent state.
This is just it.
And I'm awkward again.
But yeah, no, actually, really quickly, before we go on to the sort of like role model, for people that don't know, what kind of YouTube stuff do you do at the moment? So you do a lot of vlogging.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever I'm up to. So like when I've not got any invites to any cool shit, it's just me going around my little grotto gaff, which is just basically a cabin in the woods up north.
Just living with AB, really, isn't it?
It is literally, yeah. I'll
life
wake
with
up,
AB.
make some eggs, chat on the table, pop a white monster, drive to the gym, drive to a nature spot, walk around and chat. Honestly, just whatever I'm doing in my day. But then we'll have the odd crazy thing like the Monaco vlog or like playing at the Emirates that we did the other week. But yeah, it's just very raw, uncut. Doesn't take me long to edit. Film on one little camera. I've got one SD card.
How do you feel when you've got that like home because you're in London a lot and doing shoots
Way
and
too
other
much.
things a lot?
Yeah.
How do you feel when you're at home? Would you say you're just as happy at home that side of life as you are when you're on the move doing other cool shit?
Yeah.
Sure. Other cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I'm just as happy, but when I've not had like a invite to anything in ages, not that I think like, oh my God, I'm falling off. I don't think that, but it's more like, oh, I'm getting a little bit bored now. The vlogs are getting a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
I should probably plan something myself, and then something always pops up. But I don't know. I do toy with the idea of moving to London a lot because everything's here. It's like a 3-hour train. It's even like we got back from Monaco, had to stay in a hotel last night. We're going on a flight, and then we've got a Christmas Eve thing a couple of days later. Got to get another hotel. So it does get a lot.
Yeah.
Like right now, I really want to go back to the grotto and just chill for like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We're in Poland at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, fuck. I can't believe. Yeah,
It's a day trip as well. It's the fact that it's like we're
going back.
We start at 6 and come back at 11 p.m. at night. It's like it's never ending.
And it's with you and Chip as well. I'm so sick of. It's been all week traveling.
Car journey. No, the plane journey's gonna be sick. He's gonna have you reading audiobooks.
Is he gonna go? Oh, you know what else? So we actually sacked off. Probably one of the best experiences you could have going out in Monaco on a Sunday night after the races to watch the Finding Bin Laden documentary.
I saw that on someone's story.
Yeah, so I downloaded the next 2 episodes and was watching on the plane, and I realized
That's an
like,
interesting one.
and I was at the front, and I had
11 documentary on.
yeah, and it props up, and it was like footage of hitting the towers, and then it was like the raid on Bin Laden, and then I was like, I'm just gonna lower my brightness and just
Everyone else looking over, kind of nervous.
Oh, I got so gassed watching that though. Like the final episode when they made like a fake. I don't know. I'm just going into this, but they made like a fake version of the compound he was in.
Wait, don't spoil it. Bin Laden's still alive at the point where I am.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. And they switched up the whole interior, like every possible way it could be planned out, and they literally just did a drill for every scenario. It was so cool. It made me want to join the SEALs.
Ooh, it's never too late.
No, because I'm too scared, but it'd be cool.
Navy SEAls, right?
Yeah.
Is that British or?
No, it's American.
The SEALs,
British is SAS.
That's cool.
Would you ever do like the Who Dares Wins celebrity one?
I always thought I would, but then I saw them do this like, I don't know if it was tear gas or something. They did some kind of gas.
Yeah.
I'm asthmatic. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Hey, yeah, that's fair.
So I saw them coming out like coughing, and I was like, that would just probably kill me.
Yeah, I think if I was just screaming in my face as well, I'd just be getting mad upset.
Really?
Yeah, I'd just cry. It's too much.
Not even get angry, just start crying.
Yeah, it would be too much.
It's just a show.
That's why Joey Essex lashed out on it. You know what I mean?
Did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they were like screaming in his face, like,
He lashed out.
lock in and like fucking stop fucking around. And he was like, he wanted to scrap him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, with that kind of content, then with a lot of the outdoor stuff, that's always quite chill.
It's very wholesome, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and you obviously have complete editing control.
Yeah.
Now you've started Twitch, and now you're in other people's videos.
Yeah.
They're the 2 points I think when, as a creator, they're quite high risk. It's something that everyone talks about, going like, obviously, if it's your own video, you can say something and look back and go, that didn't quite come out right. That's different to how I intended.
Yeah.
You know, that could be misunderstood. Maybe I can I'll do that take again or edit it out because I want to be clear and concise, all that kind of stuff. When you start appearing on other people's videos, you might say something and go, actually, you know, maybe that joke was a bit too far or could be misunderstood.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the only times I really feel anxious about stuff, is going like, actually, like, how is that going to come across?
Yeah.
Like I said, when we had the You're an Angry Minion clip, we were quite drunk. I was like, am I going to come across like I was like really evil in that? And everyone's going, oh, you know,
I mean, you were definitely like
people.
you were definitely like
evil.
antagonizing the guy, but you could also tell like how jokey you were being.
Yeah.
There was no malicious intent.
But that kind of
So
thing.
that's like a good balance, really.
But I obviously don't get the choice to really look back and have the editing control. And same with streaming. You know, I've streamed before, and you are there. I don't know if you guys get the intrusive thoughts with it, but going like, part of me just goes like, what's the worst thing I could possibly say right now?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, because that's at least in part in my mind. What happens if I just say it? Like, what if I come out and go like, these 5 minority groups and like, you know, these like people, oh, I loathe them all or whatever. And you're just like, oh, by the way, leave school and do drugs.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell?
That is
like,
good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with
It worked for him.
yeah, did it?
He's on ayahuasca right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You've not even been in this room.
You've got 3 tits.
Yeah, this is a real spaceship.
Yeah. So how do you feel?
I'd say in other people's videos, I'm very good at like, if I make a joke and I don't think it's like, I'll remember that all day. I'm not going to forget to tell them to clip it out. So I'll always just remember like what I don't think is good. But it is harder when you do drinking videos for sure. Like sometimes I've never had maybe like, oh, that should have been cut. But I'm more like, God, that's so jarring in that clip. I'm just stop shouting.
Stop shouting. Why won't I shut up?
Yeah,
That's so me with pub crawl videos.
Yeah, it's just like, God, I hate that guy.
Yeah, I'm like, shut up. Seriously, man, it's so jarring. Someone will comment that Arthur guy's so jarring, I like it. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right on this one.
Yeah, that's when they confirm it as well. You're like, oh, off myself.
Shit.
But yeah, streaming is just a different animal. Like I sit down for 5 hours and don't leave that room, and I'm talking the whole time. And it's like, you get so comfortable, especially when you're zoned out on a game. It's like, you completely forget that. Like I'll get like 2,000 people watching. If you imagine them in front of you, you're gonna overthink everything you say. But it's just it's so comfortable. Like when you think about it, at the end of the day, when you're gaming with your mates, that is the most clocked out you actually get. Really, it's like a lot of people's outlet really to clock out. So yeah, it is risky, but I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp of like where the line is and where I wouldn't pat. And especially when you're on with like Chip and George and whatever, it's like you almost think about what their reaction would be to what you say, which helps for sure.
Yeah, not so much Chip because he's
pretty out of pocket himself.
He's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, there was that quite viral clip of him when he came into someone's chat. Don't know whether it was yours, and you were speaking about the kind of clash between the like gym talk male audience and the younger female audience.
Yeah. I reckon I have one of the strangest like mix demographic ever.
Yeah. By the way, just saying it really quickly, I know people don't like the male and female terms. That's so ingrained in us. It's so ingrained because it's very embedded in incel culture.
Yeah, right.
And with us, I think it comes way more when we check our demographics.
Yeah.
It's always male, female.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm more just finding
what you say. Whereas like because there's such an overlap, like that language is like I say, deeply ingrained in incel misogynistic culture.
Interesting.
When you say females, it's like
it sounds more like
it sounds almost like othering them, like they're a different species. And I think I sometimes catch myself saying it, and I'm like, I mean that in
no, I
the
see what you mean,
sense.
but like in the way I've joked about it, like a lot of the joke in my audience is like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to talk to women, or like this guy just opens a weather app. It's like, no, I don't talk to females, and it just sounds like you're like a loser. It's a joke. Yeah. So I guess I'm almost playing into that fucking insult.
Yeah.
But it's just meant to be some awkward, like, I don't know how to talk.
But that's where the responsibility comes into it that I'm curious about. When you kind of go like, you've got those two different audiences.
Yeah.
Their types of humor, their style of humor is going to be different. The things that they feel are like appropriate and like where that line in the sand. Obviously, everyone's completely different. Like, you know, like I say, like we did our last episode on where we draw the line with sort of like veganism and like animal rights and like climate change and all that kind of stuff. And there no doubt will have been people watching that going like, oh, you know, like, it's disappointing that you guys aren't vegans, or disappointing that you guys would use ChatGPT for whatever purposes. And like, I think you almost have to yourself go, I feel like I can be a good person with this line in the sand.
Yeah.
But do you find having that mix of audiences, because obviously since doing the more Sidemen like me, Bach, George, that kind of stuff, that audience is quite different from the maybe more male dominated like gym spaces. Yeah. Do you find there's a tough tussle between those audiences?
It's definitely, I mean, you can't please everyone. That's just never going to happen. But I feel like it is hard. Since I've like hanging around with your group as well, I think I had like 98% male, and now it's like 89%. So it's like proper creeping up. But I think a lot of the girls that watch my content as well, like the thing that they like and play into is like, I'm one of the boys, like I'm on enemy territory. It's like they find it funny that they're watching like ultimate guy humor. Yeah. So I've always kind of still not really switched it up to an extent, because it's like that was kind of the joke. Or it's like I keep calling my audience boys, and they're like me when he calls me a boy, and it's like they're undercover in the boys group chat. Like that was always a thing. But no, it is really hard to balance. I've definitely thought about it a lot more recently since I started streaming. But yeah, it's just someone's always going to get offended at anything, really. And especially if you're on for 5 hours, cracking jokes non-stop with the boys, it's hard. But you've also just got to like, I think people also forget I'm 21 as well. Like I'm actually just quite low XP human, really. You know, it's my first time living, you know what I mean? And I'm not lived long.
Well, that's the other thing, because I think sometimes you can say things and be like, you know, it is so complicated with the responsibility thing and everything that comes into it. And I mean, we kind of speak about it with our audience. We've got people who really enjoy science. Yeah. And so we've got a responsibility for scientific integrity. You know, if we bring up a news story, we want to go like, here's the reference, here's where it was published, it was peer reviewed, that kind of thing. Go like, this is accurate and up to date, and like we really want to fact check it. We've obviously got the younger women and like girl audience, and we kind of feel like we've got the responsibility to go like make them feel welcome. And you know, obviously as guys, like we've got guy humor, but at the same time we want them to feel welcome and safe, and go like, you know, and even with the guys, like we obviously all have guys, and you have a bigger guy audience, that almost gives you a bigger responsibility to go like, for girls watching you and guys watching, going like, this is how men should speak about women. Here's how men should treat women and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess I don't vocalize it, but in my mind, I kind of imagine that everyone's got the context. It's like, if you just clicked onto one of my streams, you could think like, oh, I can't believe he's just said, or like anything. But if you watched a whole vlog of my humor, you've got so much context to who I am and what I'm like that you completely get it. Yeah. Which most of the girls or guys in my chat on Twitch or anything, they watch the vlogs and they know exactly what my humor is and they know I'm playing into this character. It's like, oh, what's going on, girl, or whatever. It's just like, it's just brain rot.
Yeah,
really. It's just verbal diarrhea, really. But yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like the thing is, from someone who just doesn't deep anything, like everything I say is just like off the cuff, I'm on to the next, whatever. I'm just like, because I know I've got no malicious intent. I'm just trying to make people laugh at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it is hard to like step back and think like, whoa, what have I just said there? Yeah. You know what I mean? But
do you find you ever have like, because your audience is kind of split, they ever disagree in the comments or in Twitch chat? Or
I wouldn't say in the comments, but in the chat, there's definitely like, there'll be guys who say really out of pocket shit, but in my mind it's like a 15-year-old just dweeb giggling behind a keyboard. So I don't think like, I never imagine like, oh, that's fucked. I'm just like, oh, it's just some stupid kid like winding someone up trolling. But then you don't think about it from the other person's perspective, I guess. I also don't have enough mods. Let me make that clear. I've got Mr. Bruv, Tom Syndicate. They're both mods.
That's crazy.
What? Yeah, Syndicate's a mod. And then I've just got a few people. But yeah, I do not have enough mods for how much is going on in that chat. And I don't read my chat enough. So I definitely miss a lot. But yeah, in my mind, I'm just thinking like everyone's here for a good time. Everyone's joking around. But yeah, I guess I don't really think too deeply into it, which I probably should.
And I think there's also, when you're live, I think people do appreciate that we're human. I think you're always going to get, no matter how like squeaky clean you are, you're always going to get people that will dislike certain things or be like, I'm not going to watch them because of this. Like, it's only natural. Like, we're humans with flaws. Everyone's flawed to different degrees. Yeah. But I think people appreciate the most when you sort of like, when something can happen and them to be like, by the way, like we felt that this might have stepped over a line, all that kind of stuff. People just really appreciate seeing you take it on board. Yeah. And that's something I'm like definitely trying to get better at myself. Like sometimes I think naturally as a person, I like don't deal that well with negativity.
I'm the same. I think that's where like I'm a bit immature, where I'm just like, well, I didn't mean that, so whatever. Yeah. Like you're wrong.
And it, like, you know, if someone like the other day I had a comment on my channel and I used a term that was outdated, but the person put it in a really nice way. Yeah. And I was like, oh, thanks for letting me know, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, I kind of wish I could respond like that to everyone, even if they're being a bit more hostile, because the end goal is the same.
I think that is the way to go about it. Like if you feel like you're under attack, then you're just going to get defensive. Yeah. Like, yo, I'm up against the wall, just fuck off, leave me alone. Yeah.
But is that kind of thing like that it's interesting you say that, because like that, I feel the same. I don't know if you kind of feel the same as well. You know, if it feels like someone's like calling you out and you're like, oh, this, you know, you're maybe being a bit harsh or attacking me a bit here, you naturally, I think humanly, and maybe we're a bit more like that, might feel more defensive.
Well, you're always gonna, because like you know what you actually mean. So it is one of the most, because we're not meant to have, like, no human's meant to have this many opinions and eyeballs on them. Like, it's not normal. It's not normal at all. That's so like true. When you've just been like chilling, feel like you're in a good mood and you're like, oh, that's a good stream, I feel like I've entertained some people, and then some people got the complete wrong idea, like that's a very like not normal thing to feel. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you meant, you know who you are. So like, yeah, it is hard to kind of be the bigger person and be like, take it on board. But
yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that comes with the responsibility thing. And
for sure,
you know, you're young, but like, I think even me, who's plenty of years older than you,
way older.
Still
he's on status.
Still just like wants to get. So I would say like it's normal, and like there's definitely no kind of like, oh, you need to beat yourself up about it. But it's so interesting to think like, to almost do that every now and then, step back. That's why the podcast's interesting, because you kind of can step back and go like, you know what, I have actually maybe got a responsibility to like improve as a person, like do things differently, like take things on board that you might not have thought about. You know, next time there's an opportunity that comes up where you go like, oh, actually I could do this a bit better, because this one person, although they said it in a way that made me switch defensive, go like, actually, you know, maybe I've got a responsibility to like do better next time.
100%.
And I think as long as people see that, I mean, obviously you're early on in your career.
I mean, yeah, I've
for
been
someone
doing
so
socials for a year. I've only made like 30 YouTube videos in my life.
Yeah.
So
And, like-
it's like I am very early into it.
Yeah.
So it is just a learning curve. You figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time
And-
I'm your age, fuck God no.
But that's what I'm trying to.
Oh Lord.
That's why I'm not trying to preach
Yeah,
in any kind of sense, because
You kind
I-
of just have to learn.
trying to
yourself,
draw
don't you?
trying to draw the line between going like, oh, we have all these responsibilities to foster safe environments and have a positive impact, and like,
Yeah.
you know, all these different things, but at the same time giving yourself a bit of grace to be like, oh, I don't need to beat myself up for making mistakes, or like,
Yeah.
you know, dwell too much on it, or sit there and like go into a bubble of anxiety going like, oh, you know, like people are saying this, or it's all about just going like, what can I do next time to be a better person? I do think if people see that from you in every sense, go like, you know, we can see that we've said this kind of thing, and you know, now he speaks about things in a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, even I definitely look back at my videos from years ago and go like, actually, like, am I proud of that joke? Like that was maybe a bit weird, or you know, a bit close to the line, or a bit edgy, and like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't one of those like creators that started around the like Xbox Live
Oh yeah.
era when everyone says everything's really toxic, because like
Yeah.
era's changed so much, and we even say now like there are things that we could say now that in 5-10 years people might be like, oh, actually that's, you know, not acceptable.
It is weird, but I
Yeah.
mean, there's only so much you can do.
But that's the thing that
Yeah.
I think that's all you have to really think about. It's just going like, what you can, like the best you can do is take things on board and
Yeah, I think no
and try
matter
and grow from it.
no matter
you
how
know?
much I could like brush something off and be like, oh, they're wrong, fucking whatever. No matter what, like next time I'm doing a video or whatever, like that is in the back of your head.
Mhm.
So it does work, but I would just say to people, if you do have like a go across, the better you go about it, the better like the creator's going to go about it as well.
Yeah.
'Cause if they feel like
Mhm.
you're attacking them, they're going to disregard it. But if it's like constructive criticism,
Yeah,
then you appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you would also have it harder anyway, because like you've had such a quick come up.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Mhm.
like, I don't know, with you, for our mistakes wouldn't have been seen by anyone for
Yeah.
the first 2-3 years.
Yeah, I've been
because
thrown
no
in the
one's
deep end of
no
it.
one watched it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas you'll have instant eyes on you,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so yeah, it's just harder to navigate.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're coming into it where, yeah, because we've had that time, we've made the mistakes and learned, and then built this current audience,
Yeah.
and this current audience that have this kind of like standard for people. It's like they're going to apply that to you.
Yeah. But what they don't realize is what it's like. We also do have very like as much as we have similar humors, we also have very different. Like I'd say
Yeah.
I'm probably closer to the line than you guys probably,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
never going to change. By the way, like
Yeah.
that is just my humor.
Yeah.
I always just kind of wanted to do the humor that I'd have with the boys at
Yeah.
home, and
Yeah.
just kind of make everyone feel like they're one of the boys. You know what I mean? Or girls. Fuck.
Fuck,
I've immediately
I've done it again.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just it's tricky.
Yeah.
We'll
It's-
get used to it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about.
It
to
is,
talk
for
about
sure.
really, because it's just so big in our lives.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, everyone watching at home are the people that pay our bills. So like
Yeah.
we've got big decisions to make on
Wait, we get paid for this?
What the hell?
on whether you go like, oh, you know, I want to try and cater to everyone. Because as well, like it's not as if you can just like maximize your audience by being more and more sensitive, because almost when you're more sensitive to certain issues, you can lose other parts of your audience.
Oh yeah, if I became like really careful about everything, like I'd lose a significant
Yeah,
part of
because
my
some
audience.
people want the edgy humor.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's tough.
Which
like,
is also
drawing the
just
line.
like what I digest in my free time anyway. Like I like comedians who like push it a little bit, or like
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just my humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just got to be yourself, stay true to yourself.
that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm not going to mold it, but I'll take stuff on board
Mm.
and think about other people's feelings.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's all it's about. Like growth,
Mm.
being better, doing better,
Yeah.
and your standards will change as well. Like mine
Yeah.
definitely have over the
Mm.
over your entire life. I don't think it ever stops changing when you go like, actually, you know what we were saying, like what kind of man do you want to be? What kind of influence do you
Yeah,
want to be?
that's very true.
Might change. You know, you could in a
Yeah.
few years turn around and be like, actually, I want to be completely outrageous. You know, like a Jimmy Carr, Ricky Gervais, like
Yeah.
offend everyone, and that be my sense of humor. You might just be.
By the way, like two of my favorite probably comedians as well.
oh really?
Yeah. Well, Ricky Gervais, like I've just grown up watching
Well-
so much, like The Office and what.
Come on out, Ricky. Yeah, we've set something up for you. Come give him slops.
Fucking no. Oh yeah, now it's okay.
No, just kidding. We couldn't get him in.
Fuck.
Couldn't get him in time.
Shame.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to act in like a show like that?
Ooh, what? Oh, like The Office or something?
Yeah. Say Ricky hit you up in the
Yeah.
DM, would you?
I think acting in a show like that would be the easiest one to act in. Like,
Yeah.
I had to do a little weird short film for Young LA where I was
yeah.
like being all serious in Japan.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was a Yu-Gi-Oh match, and I was like, they say you're the best. Let's see. And it's the toughest watch I've ever seen ever. But I think if I was in, because it's just like a high production TikTok, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
when you do
pretty
skits,
much.
it's really
Yeah.
not that different.
Mm.
I mean, even Cole did like Afterlife, and he seemed pretty natural in that. It was like,
Yeah, that's true.
we've had a lot of practice. But yeah, I'd love to be in something like that. Maybe we just start our own show, start a sketch show.
Maybe we do.
That's not far off basically what you already do on TikTok. I always think
I don't
about,
really
like,
do TikTok
if you
like that
think
anymore,
about how
though.
much money Mitchell and Webb made from the Mitchell Webb look, do you know
Is it-
them?
Is it bad that I've never watched?
To be
You
fair,
watch Peep Show?
No.
I've watched Peep Show, but I haven't watched the Mitchell and Webb show.
Oh, okay, well,
I know what Peep Show is. I've
It-
seen a lot of
do
clips.
you know what Mitchell and Webb show is?
No.
It's just skit after skit after skit. You might have even seen a couple on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's almost like if you took 30 of Batch's 1 minute TikToks,
Yeah.
made them into an episode,
Yeah.
they're quite funny actually. I was
What, my videos or?
your videos.
Thanks. Needed that.
No, I actually laughed at one the other day. No, I'm joking, no.
No, I'm kidding. No, I didn't.
They're obviously absolutely hilarious. It's interesting to think that when you're putting them out on TikTok, you know, the TikTok Creator Fund is, you know, doesn't pay a fraction of what Netflix would buy that half an hour show for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder who's going to be the first to go, actually, I've got 30 skits on TikTok that have banged 10 mil plus.
Yeah.
I'm going to film them horizontally in slightly nicer camera, pitch it to
I think
Netflix.
it's so easy to do as well.
It would be so easy
Do you know
to do.
Key and Peele as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really
They're
funny.
very
Because on Netflix is starting to buy people's YouTube videos off
Yeah.
them and be like,
Yeah.
this is so cinematic. Take it off YouTube. We'll put it on Netflix. We'll pay you a certain amount.
Yeah.
I think if you just did a compilation of sketches, like sketch shows, I mean, if Mitchell and Webb were alive now, they would just be hilarious TikTokers. They'd just be a hilarious TikTok duo possibly.
I just
That
don't
feels like
think.
I'm going to really piss off.
you
I'm a
probably
big
will,
fan
yeah.
of
Yeah.
both.
They're
of them.
just
You know those guys,
TikTokers.
if they tried, could actually make it as TikTokers?
Yeah, they tried. No, they could actually be like us if they worked hard enough.
I just feel like sketch shows like that are just not going to be popular again, though, because of you've got.
I watch them
But like,
Yeah.
in bed. Like that is like a good thing to stick
Yeah,
on
you've-
for me.
And you've got there's big money in TV
you've got to
still.
think upcoming. The
No.
upcoming. Oh, you got to think about the upcoming audience for that show are now just watching streamers and TikTok.
Mhm.
Like the new generation aren't watching. They're not even really watching Netflix.
Yeah.
True.
So to
Netflix
watch a
is falling
sketch
off
show
a
on
bit.
Netflix, I just don't think they do it.
I think a sketch show belongs on YouTube more than
Yeah.
Netflix.
I just it's more of a thing of money. Like at the moment, obviously, I definitely think. I mean, speak to the guys that work in TV production. They all say the same. Like the TV, like we do the Channel 4.0 stuff because Channel 4 are going like we need to get on this, and loads of these production companies. Oh,
Mm.
Channel 4 is that a production company?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I don't know. I just got it.
No, we'll go for that.
Yeah, they're all moving towards it. I just think at the moment, like Ricky Gervais's comedy thing went for what 20 mil Netflix paid him for.
Yes, it'll be something mental.
Like if you, I'd be curious to
That's a
see
lot
how
of
much the
money.
Mitchell and Webb got for that to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like it just would still, even though the big audience is growing towards TikTok and YouTube, someone right now, like you or like a Jack or Cole
Yeah.
or probably even you,
I don't really do sketches.
not
though.
really in the same way.
I did back in the day. I
Yeah.
just do like
Yeah, the TikTok shop thing.
Yeah,
was
TikTok
so
shop.
Funny.
someone at TikTok getting circumcised with a butter knife for this.
that was the
butter
first
knife.
TikTok I saw of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
so-
did like Forex trader ones where I'd put like fake veneers in and be like, you can print generational wealth from the comfort of your own home. I used to do so much shit, and now I don't. Even the Yo family thing was a sketch. It was a skit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like posh boy calling a drug dealer like, oh, I'm so excited to get on it. Yo family.
And you just kept going. Oh,
Yeah.
well, fair.
And, became a thing. And do you like the Yo family or not anymore?
I like it as like a little intro, like it's a good way to start the vlog. It's like, oh, family, welcome back to the vlog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get shouted at a lot. But I mean, I asked for that. I used to pray for times like this.
There's a phrase
True.
in French we couldn't figure out what it was that sounds like someone's yelling yo.
Yeah, people were yelling it and slops. No. By the train, someone definitely said something about
Someone
slops.
said something. Wait, in English.
They're probably French.
That's the thing.
Oh,
that-
your family.
I don't remember the slops one, but yo family.
Your
There,
family.
there were definitely a couple of times when someone would say something and they'd be
Yeah.
like,
And it just
yo
sounds like-
family, and you'd be like,
But you know the one by the
but
when
they'd finish their sentence in
Maybe it
French.
was
and we'd be
French
like,
AV,
what
you
is
look
that?
over.
Yeah.
And it was
Yo
said a lot.
family.
They're like they weren't
We're
looking
going
at
back-
us. They were like a 60-year-old French man or something.
No,
We were like, what the heck?
No, but you know
No,
when
he's
we were waiting
fucking
for the
with
boat and we thought we heard that Yo family out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
I checked my phone on the boat and someone had a DM saying, "I know you heard that, Yo family."
Oh,
swear down.
shit.
So that
I
one
know you
wasn't
heard
really-
that.
Yeah, and then when
Such a threat.
and then when I got onto the boat, the guy from the boat over went, "Yo family," like a different guy.
Oh, fair.
And he
they're
took a little
just out there
selfie
on the
from
Oh, there
boat.
will be a mix,
Yeah.
no doubt.
They're
Yeah.
out there on the boat somewhere, just screaming Yo family.
I didn't expect any Yo families around the Monaco area. I thought they were above
That's
that.
mental to think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're in Monaco on yachts,
Yeah.
you're hearing Yo family.
Even one of the
from
guys on the
yacht.
boat was like, his dad did like the surgery on the owner of the yacht, and he was like FaceTiming his mate. I chatted to him.
That's
But it just
crazy.
feels like really out of place.
Crazy, yeah.
Japan, actually, Japan was a weird. There's a
Japan.
clip. There's a clip of me in the vlog going, "I'll tell you what, I've met a few of you guys out here. It's really weird." And then a guy just walks past and goes, "Yo family," as I'm saying that. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
No way.
They're all Australian, actually.
Ah,
The ones I was meeting in
makes
Japan.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
But yeah, no, it is weird. It's kind of, I kind of like it though, because it's like if someone wants to come up to you and they don't know what to say, they've always got an easy in.
That's true. But then it can be awkward because it's like, oh, what do you say now?
Yeah. No,
Like-
sometimes they say it and don't follow it up.
I was going
and
to
I'm
say, do
like,
you have people that come up and go, "Yo family"?
Yeah, well, I have a
And
bit
they
of
just
like,
stand there.
I feel like I've got a bit of a shit response because I always go, "Yeah, that's the one."
That's the one.
Yeah.
Say it
Or I'll
again.
go like, "Not heard that one before."
We speak about this. It's actually really hard to deal with a lot of fan interactions
Yeah.
because they're not normal conversations.
No.
Yeah.
Like the
When they put the ball in your court when they've come up to you, it's like,
Where's that
I don't know
ball
what
come
to do.
from?
Yeah,
You know what?
I don't know what to do.
one thing we're lucky that we've come into social media later is that we don't get what some of the boys who have been around for 10, 15 years get, which is, "I used to watch your videos."
Yeah.
Because that's the one that they really struggle with when they get like "Yo, I used to watch your videos," and
Yeah.
they're always like,
When I had nothing
Well, you
going
don't
on, I used
anymore?
to watch
Yeah.
you
What
guys.
do you mean? What happened?
"Oh," and then I grew up and my sense of humor
Yeah.
changed. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty rare. I imagine you guys never get that. I never
No.
really get that.
Yeah, one day.
The only time I get it is when people go, "I used to watch your airline freakouts," because I stopped that, and that was quite a big.
Mm.
I tell you, it was weird when we were walking to the main race. A guy, I walked past. We were loads of people walking Monaco, really rowdy. It's race day, and I just see this guy's face, and I'm like, I recognise that guy. I feel like I've met him, and then I just hear like Alfie Buttle from behind, which by the way, no one ever drops a full
Yeah.
government. And I turned around and I was like, yeah, and he was like, "Do you remember when I met you?" And he met me at a gym event when I had 10k followers. He was like
Oh, I
the
remember
first guy
this.
to take a photo with me,
No
and I just
way.
ran into him in Monaco. It was so weird.
That's
It's
sick.
actually a small world, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
World.
It's bizarre.
Easy. Oh my God. Alfie Buttle, tell me about that.
I didn't come up with it.
What's your middle name?
Noah.
Hmm.
A and B.
That was my
Hey.
original YouTube channel name.
Was it actually?
Yeah, I've made like one GTA video, but I filmed the screen on my iPad.
You know what? Ever since you've said like you structure your vlogs like AB goes camping,
Yeah.
I've been mad jealous because it's such a short thing.
It's
Why
an
do
easy-
you do that?
an easy
Just for
snap.
SEO?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
There
perfect.
was
It-
zero
works.
thought behind it. It was just the first vlog was like, I think because people knew me as AB on TikTok, for the first vlog, I wanted it to be like, AB does this. So
Yeah.
people,
I think it's also just intriguing, just going like, why is the AB guy so special that his name is in the title like this?
also, you know, how, like clips bang on TikTok and it's always like, Italian Bach has said this, AB
Yeah.
said it. It's almost like that same,
It's
Yeah.
just so I don't think
Sort
people
of.
realize how important it is to have a short username sometimes on
yeah.
socials.
Especially
like-
with sponsorships as well, when you got a code AB.
Yeah.
So quick.
Because like
Yeah.
Sideman can go like, oh, like Sideman go camping, and it's only like 7 letters.
Yeah.
I can never do like Arthur Frederick goes to Monaco because it'll be like Arthur Frederick ...
Yeah.
and
Arthur
they're never going to
Frederick.
see
Well,
it.
you are
No,
called
it's
Arthur TV as
in
well.
Monaco.
True, but I've been trying to shake the Arthur TV, but I don't think it's going to go.
I think that's cold.
I quite like
Cold.
Bez
TV.
started calling me ATV like a year or two ago.
Sounds
But
like an
I always
Arsenal.
call
Sounds
it
like a ATV.
ATV. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
all-terrain vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's right. I'm all-terrain vehicle, baby.
George calls me abdominal.
Yeah, he does. He calls
That's
me
your
television,
baby.
and that's also
Television stuff.
Television.
a lot of
yeah.
people write television because of
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
And also because we've got Arthur Hill and you. It's,
Mm,
we now and you.
yeah.
Now I don't know when I'm in a group with both of you. I don't know whether to go Arthur or TV or Hill. Or
It's tough when we're
Arthur
playing multiplayer
or
games.
Finchy.
If we're playing Finchy,
Where's that come from?
It's his middle name.
middle name,
Finch.
and when he drinks, it sounds like a geezer. So we're like, oh,
Yeah,
Finchy,
Finchy,
out.
yeah,
He
yeah.
comes
Finchy,
out,
Finchy.
yeah.
We'll get
It's
two
a
beers
character
down.
from The Office called Finchy, and he's like
Yeah.
the
There
biggest
is.
like lad. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's named after Arthur.
No, but he's like just comes in. And he's like, oh fucking beers.
Yeah.
fucking
Get
tits
people in
and
headlock.
shit. Yeah, yeah, fucking little.
That
prick.
is essentially
Yeah.
Finchy on a night.
Yeah.
when we were out there in Monaco, you were like, when you think about it, like we're really blessed,
Yeah.
and we have you guys to thank. So
Mm.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
go check out AB's content. If you're enjoying this content, you like this podcast, hit subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Anything else you want to mention?
No, just the misery will start in a year or two.
What?
Thanks for watching, guys. It's been such a pleasure. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Bye.